the first question. Okay, what is the fabric laser cutting machine? Actually, there are many types of laser. Laser can cut both metal and non-metal materials. But the laser source is different. Because laser generally the principle is that it melts the materials. When it touches the material, it melts it. So the material itself must absorb the heat of the laser. Then it can be melted, right? So for the non-metal materials, it can absorb the CO2 laser. Yeah. So CO2 laser actually is a kind of a gas combination. It combines of a lot of like the nitrogen and I don't know the exact names of those different gases names, but all you need to know is that when you talk about CO2 laser cutter, okay, it is exactly laser cutting the fabric. And the laser this photo shows you how the laser is generated and is working. You see, this is the laser tube here. The tube generates by the electricity and the laser power and generates the laser, the CO2 laser. And by the 3 reflecting lens, the laser beam will come right through to the cutting head. But the laser generated to this part has like a 5 mm diameter, so it cannot cut anything, right? But it is light generally. Laser is actually the light. So with the help of this focusing lens, yeah, we can. You see in this picture, this is the 5 mm surface, and with the focusing lens, it will becoming one spark point. And at this height, when it touches the material, it can melt the material, just like this. Okay, so we just put the material under the cutting head to a proper height, then the laser works. Okay, and there are different focal lengths for the lens. Those are commonly used, but for fabric, with the 50.8 mm is the most used one because the fabric is not that thick. If your material is thicker than like 1 cm, we will recommend bigger one. Okay, so as long as your material is within 1 cm, this one is recommended. Okay, hope you can understand the principles of this CO2 laser. And
Yeah.
Okay.
I have also again one question.
Yeah.
Now, when we focus, as you said, that where in the point where it focuses, that point itself is only melting, right?
Sorry.
Because this thick or the width of laser is, you said, how many mm, which cannot melt, which is this red color what is coming, and then finally in the focusing length you are actually converging that point into one area, and that's the layer or that's the height it is melting.
Oh, I understand your point. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you see this.
Yes, yeah.
This part is where the
Okay.
focusing lens is, and you see the height is different, right? And when you see here, it's like this. The focusing lens is like here. If your material is thick enough, because we also have other motion parts, and they are fixed. So if it is thicker, then this part should be shorter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I adjust based on the thickness of the material? Even if for the fabric, different fabric will be of different kind of thickness. Like denim will be different thickness, and poplin will be different thickness, 100% cotton, or maybe polyester. So how much is that adjustment of the height?
Possible? We generally have a ruler a degree ruler for each and every machine. So once you exchange the material, you just put that ruler under the head. Under the head, then you will know the
Okay.
exact, the best focal length.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a gauge.
Yes, yes. And for cutting fabric, actually, this height is not that exact. And sometimes our clients, they just put a finger finger under it, and then they will, okay, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I will move on to the next part is the tube. Why China made fabric laser cutter is so popular, and why they are all using this glass tube, the glass CO2 tube. Actually, glass tube are mostly made by China manufacturers, and there are another type of tube is this metal tube. Okay, this metal tube actually they have better laser quality and better how to say stable, more stable laser power and longer duration. But the price is much higher than this glass tube. And generally for cutting fabric, we will use the like 100-watt laser. And this single tube can be used like over 2 years if you take good care of it. And but the cost is only hundreds, like three to 400 of USD. And then you can use like over 2 years. That is the most how to say the biggest advantage of the glass tube. But at the same power, this metal tube, it will cost like at least 30 times, 30 times, but the duration is like 5 years. And it you can recharge it, because like you see, if you recharge it, it will cost you like 1,000 US dollars per time. So for cutting parts, glass tube is more than enough. And now the metal tube is more used in the high-end applications like the denim marking or denim washing part. Yeah, so it is has higher requirements about the laser beam and the laser power stability. Then this metal tube is more applicable. Okay, but for the cutting part, it just need to melt the material. So the glass tube is more than enough. That's the main reason, because it is the key spare parts of one laser machine. And with so cheap spare parts, it can get popular. Each from our clients' feedback, they can get their machine investment in less than 3 months. That is why this cutter is getting more and more popular in sewing product industries. Okay.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
Okay, when you say that these laser tubes are 2 years life, so in calculating in terms of number of running hours, how much it will be? You are taking how many shifts? 8 hours a day,
10 hours per day.
10 hours per day,
Yes.
and then it will be 2 years of life.
Yes.
Okay, and because when you say also that in the denim washing or denim industry, the metals are used now, and whereas fabric cutting, the glass is used. So you mean to say in the denim, because it is not cutting, it is basically scraping the surface.
Yes.
So there probably more accuracy is required and more fine tuning is required. Because of that, it is metal.
Sorry.
Why metal is good for denim industry? If you just tell again, because I think I was not very clear.
Oh, yes. Because for denim marking or washing, the file is generally I don't know exactly. It should be the vector file, right? And for that type of file, design files, CO2 laser, sorry, the glass tube, the laser model cannot cannot have a very good effect on the surface, or it works
Okay.
very slow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, you can go ahead. Yes, you can.
Okay,
Please go
so
ahead.
the first part is about what is fabric laser cutting machine and the working principles, and then